Hey CTK, this is Jeff Bradford coming to you from my house. And I wanted to reach out to our congregation in the midst of the coronavirus and the shelter at home order and just encourage you. We're in a place in our culture right now where there's just a lot of fear in the air, fear about our own security, jobs, fear about our stock market, fear about the virus. And I want to encourage you that we are a people who know a God of abundance and not scarcity. We know a God who is in charge of all things and has told us that we do not have a spirit among us that makes us a slave again to fear, but a spirit that is of power and love and a sound mind. That's from 2 Timothy. I just want to encourage you in this, that a Christian response to all that's happening right now is not one of fear, but one of quiet confidence in who God is. And I want to call us to exercise generosity in a time of fear, in a time when people don't know what's going to happen. And I want to encourage in this because right now, if you are tuned into social media, you're tuned into the news, the fear in the culture and in what we hear from others is just at an all-time high. But this is a time where we are invited by our God, who is generous, who has all things, who is the King of Kings, to exercise generosity. I want to remind you of this in a couple ways. One, of course, is with regard to our own church finances, and I want to encourage you to continue giving to our church. I'm going to share a screen with you here that just reminds you, if you want to give to our church right now, we continue to have staff that we're supporting and missions that we're doing and lots of ministry that is still going on in the midst of the coronavirus. Here's a slide for you in terms of how to continue to give to CTK. This is all on our website if you want to be able to give. If you're not giving online right now, I invite you to do so. But I want to invite you to another level of this as well. As you know, Congress has signed a stimulus bill, and we will be receiving as households a check in the next couple of months, weeks or months, that has money set aside to help families, help individuals, to put money back into the economy. And I want to really challenge us to think about what we do with that. One of our elders, David Spickard, has been talking to me about this. Is there a way that we could be generous with what God has given to us through this stimulus? Now, of course, there are going to be a lot of people who really need this money, and that this money is coming at a moment where this is really hitting, where there's a lack of work, there's a lapse in your job, you're losing your job, and I don't want anyone to feel guilt with regard to this. But for others of us, we have, maybe this is coming as an extra. And I just want to challenge you, as David is challenging, this is his slide, to think about this as is there a way that you can tithe some of this money that comes from the stimulus package? In fact, the U.S. government has made provision for that. Out of the $1,400 coming to every household, up to $300 of that can be given as a non-taxable charitable donation, given as a donation. So I just want to encourage you today to be thinking about, are there ways that you could be radically generous during this time? Again, this is not for everybody, but I want to encourage you to ask the Lord, are there ways that you could be bold in taking some of that stimulus money and using it for the good of other people? Our own deacons have set up a stimulus tithe fund. This is off our ctkraleigh.org give page. You can give to the fund, you can mail in a check, you can text to give toward that. That money has already been coming in. We've already been receiving lots of food donations from lots of people, but also last time I checked, about $6,000 from our congregation toward coronavirus relief. How that money is going to be used, I've heard some people ask that question. It'll be used for individuals in need, to help partner with organizations who serve the quartet of the vulnerable, the poor, the widow, the orphan, the stranger. It'll be used for helping with proactive help in the recovery phase, so we're on the tail end of the virus, and it'll be used for help for healthcare workers. So we want to encourage you just to think about how you are responding right now, how God might work in your heart and uh, allow you to move out of a place of fear, out of a scarcity mindset, and into an abundance mindset, into trusting God and even being willing to bless others during the midst of this crisis. So I want to encourage you to pray about those things and to respond in faith. May God bless you richly as you continue to try to follow him in this.